Show you. They been sitting in there for months and months and months and months and months.
You got to open that up all the way. What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
Dirty thing?
No. Pull it out. What the Get the in! Push your hands up!
Would begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Case by Case. My name is Amy. Today is my first episode of Diabolical, where I'm going to bring you some of the most horrific stories that I've heard over the past, decade, cases that have stood out to me that I just feel remind you of the worst in this world. And today we're going to start off with the case of Nicole Johnson. This is a case that I am calling The Trunk. And what you just watched was what unfolded after a routine traffic stop. So what happened was on July 28th in Essex, Maryland in 2021, just after 11 p.m., an officer pulls over a vehicle for speeding. And nothing unusual at first, except the driver doesn't have a license and she has fake tags on the vehicle. And then something else. The officer begins to smell something that triggers his senses of there's something else going on here. The first red flag is that there's not drugs, not alcohol, but it smells like something dead. So the officer actually calls another officer to come over to the scene and walk around the vehicle and see if he senses and smells the same thing that he does. This is kind of the moment that everything changes for Nicole. Nicole is not acting in any way that would make you think that she's hiding something nefarious in the car. She's actually very forthcoming. And it's very bizarre to see how willing she is to pull the items that she has in her trunk out to display in front of the officers. She's a little emotional. She's overwhelmed, talking about how life is falling apart for her. At one point, she says something very chilling. And as the officers begin to request that she unwrap and unpack the items in her trunk, she makes a startling statement. And she says, "You're going to see me on the news tomorrow." That's triggering. So we're going to take a look at some of the body cam footage that was captured that evening. All credits go to multiple sources, including Explore With Us. All credits of the video go to them. But let's just follow along and see how this unfolds.
Traffic stop takes a horrifying turn when officers detect a strange, putrid smell coming from the vehicle. The search that follows uncovers a secret so disturbing it defies belief, leaving multiple officers visibly shaken, physically ill, and utterly enraged by one of the most vile discoveries ever made.
Listen, I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down. I'm trying. No, I need you to focus. Listen, calm down.
We need to verify. We don't know what this is.
What is?
Jesus Christ.
The following is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. In Essex, Maryland, just after 11 p.m. on July 28, 2021, an officer with the Baltimore County Police Department approaches a vehicle for a traffic stop.
How you doing? All right, you got your license and registration on you? Well, you know why I pulled you over? You know what the speed limit is?
No.
Okay. Speed limit is 35.
Oh.
And you was doing well over it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I swear I only thought I was going 40.
The driver, 33-year-old Nicole Michelle Johnson, hands over a state ID. Sitting beside her in the front seat is a friend who she calls BB. The officer.
Now, what Michelle begins to do is she starts explaining herself that she has all kinds of blankets and dirty clothing that belong to her husband in her trunk, and that's where the smell is coming from. At first, she doesn't seem to be eager to unwrap them all because she claims there's bugs in them. Eventually, what we learn is that within a suitcase and a Rubbermaid container are two separate bodies. And these bodies are of two children who happen to be Nicole's niece and nephew. Horrific, horrific, horrific story.
Go ahead. Go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do an inventory search of your car once you finish taking out what you want to take out.
What's that inventory?
So inventory search is when I go through your car, for instance, say like you had $15,000 in the trunk of this car right now, and you're taking it to it and it's gone.
Yo, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and they taking my car. I gotta take all my stuff out because I don't have anything. So if I lose this is all I got. Y'all keep asking me to move on. Y'all keep telling me walk on day. Y'all keep saying everything will get better. Y'all keep saying this, it can't get no worse, it can't get. And y'all keep saying find the light, find the light, find the light. Where's the light? Yo, like where is the light? Like where?
So as you can see, she's having an emotional breakdown about her circumstances. Apparently people keep telling her life's going to get better. Is this really why she's having this emotional breakdown? I don't think so. It seems to me to be a deflection and a distraction to deter the officer from pursuing what's actually in the car. However, the smell from the car seems to be overwhelming and very concerning for the officer, who continues to push. Once the discovery is made, they obviously chase her down and place her under arrest. They then take her into the police station, where she begins to explain that these two children that's discovered in her trunk aren't strangers. They were her niece and nephew, ages 7 and 5. They had been left in her care about 2 years earlier. Although she had no residence of her own, no real means to support them, the mother of these two children gave them up to her sister to take care of. After that point, no one reported them missing after not seeing them for almost 2 years. She doesn't deny that she's been carrying these children around with her, going from hotel to hotel. The 7-year-old little girl, she admits that the body was in the suitcase, and she kept traveling with it, taking it in and out of the car, moving it in and out of hotel rooms for 14 long months. The second child was the little boy. He's the 5-year-old, but she claims he had been dead for about 5 months. She claimed that the 7-year-old, she actually, in the process of disciplining her, beat her to death. Her nephew, she claims, was an accident, that he was playing with something and injured himself and then just fell non-responsive. I'm not sure that's even a believable story. These children had never been enrolled in school. They were both never seen by a doctor. They were never reported missing, and they disappeared without anyone coming to look for them. Nicole Johnson, after confessing to all of the evil that she had done to these children, she was later found guilty and charged with multiple counts of murder. She pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree child abuse resulting in death, and she was sentenced to life with all but 50 years suspended. This case just wasn't about what was found in the trunk. It's about everything that failed those children before the moment they were found. The system, the family, the oversight in this country needs to change. The reality that they were going to be lost forever unless this traffic stop happened is a tragic story. Thanks for joining me for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed this short story, as horrific as it was. We will see you next time on Diabolical and Case by Case.